Good day, everyone. Today we'll be continuing our discussion further with the chapter Units and Measurement. Today we'll be discussing a very important topic, that is dimensional analysis. So let us see what is dimensional analysis is. During the introduction of chapter Units and Measurement, I have told you that there are two types of physical quantities, fundamental quantities and the derived quantities. Now there are 7 fundamental quantities and the derived quantities are expressed in terms of these 7 fundamental quantities. So these 7 fundamental quantities form the 7 fundamental dimensions of our physical world. And these 7 fundamental quantities are used to represent derived quantities. So let us see how these 7 fundamental quantities form the 7 fundamental dimensions of our physical world. So the 7 fundamental quantities which we have seen were length, mass, time, electric current, thermodynamic temperature or temperature I am writing. This is thermodynamic temperature. Then luminous intensity, and amount of substance. Now these are the 7 fundamental quantities. These 7 fundamental quantities form the 7 fundamental dimensions of our physical world. Means we will be using those physical dimensions to represent derived quantities. Now what is the physical dimension used to represent these 7 fundamental quantities? The dimensions or the fundamental dimensions for these fundamental quantities is written along with square brackets. So the dimension used for length is capital L. The dimension used for length is capital L enclosed in square bracket. Similarly, the dimension used for mass is capital M enclosed in square bracket. The dimension used for time is capital T enclosed in square bracket. Electric current, ampere A. This is thermodynamic temperature. So it is represented using A. Luminous intensity, CD, and amount of substance, mole, MOL. So these are the 7 fundamental dimensions of our physical world, which are the dimensions of the 7 fundamental quantities. And these fundamental dimensions are used to represent derived quantities. So basically there are 7, but in case of mechanics, generally in physics or mechanics, we'll be dealing with these 3 only. Most of the derived quantities which you will be using in mechanics will be the combination of these 3 fundamental dimensions, that is length, mass and time. So most of the time we'll be dealing with these 3 only. So let us see how these fundamental dimensions are used to represent derived quantities. So let us talk about a quantity, area. As you can see that area is not a fundamental quantity. So how to represent area using these fundamental dimensions? So area, as you know, area is the product of two lengths. whatever may be the formula for area, it is basically the product for two lengths or two dimensions, you can say. So area is what? Length into length, and we know the dimension for length. So the dimension for length will be L, the dimension for this length will be capital L, and the dimension for this length will also be capital L. So we'll be multiplying these fundamental dimensions, and the dimension for area is L square. So what is the dimension for area? L square, and it is derived using dimension for length, which is a physical quantity. Which is a fundamental quantity. Length is a fundamental quantity, and that fundamental quantity or the dimensions of that fundamental quantity is used to represent area, which is a derived quantity. Similarly, so the dimension or representation for area will be L square. Similarly, how we can represent volume in terms of these fundamental dimensions? Volume can be written as what? Volume can be written as volume. You know volume is what? Volume is the product of three lengths. Length into length, whatever may be these three lengths, but it is basically 3 times multiplication or the product of length. So this thing will be represented by L, this length will be represented by L, similarly this will be represented by L, similarly this one will also be represented by L. So the product will come out to be L cubed. So the dimension used to represent volume will be L cube. Similarly, let us find one more, density. Now the dimension, how to represent density? Density is one more derived quantity, is not a fundamental quantity. So density, how you can represent density? Density formula, you know, density is equal to mass divided by volume or mass per unit. Volume is known as density. The dimension used for mass is m, and the dimension used for volume is, we have found out now only before this one, it will be L cube. So the dimension used to represent density will be ml. This 3 or L cube will go in the numerator, so it will be L to the power minus 3. Let us see one more, velocity. Velocity is what? Or yes, velocity you can write it as what? Velocity is equal to what? Displacement by time, or rate of change of displacement. Displacement by time is known as velocity. Now displacement, what will be the dimension for displacement? Displacement is length only. Basically you are measuring length only. So displacement dimension used for displacement will be L. Dimension used for time will be capital T. So the dimensional representation of velocity will be L. This T will go in the numerator, so it will be LT minus 1. LT minus 1. So this is how the derived quantities or the dimensions of derived quantities are written using the fundamental dimensions. That is 7 dimensions of those 7 fundamental quantities. Now in the textbook you will be seeing that now these which we have written, first of all let me introduce you to one more term, that is dimensional formula. Now what is dimensional formula is, all the things which we have written now were dimensional formulas only. So dimensional formula, So the dimension for area was L square. So this is the dimensional formula for area. Means dimensional formula of a derived quantity is a combination of what? The 7 fundamental dimensions, or the 7 fundamental dimensions of the physical world raised to some power, depending upon the quantity which you are expressing. So area is L square. Similarly, the dimensional formula for volume will be L cube. The dimensional formula for density we have written was ml to the power minus 3. The dimensional formula for velocity also we have written. So these are basically the dimensional formula. These are known as, sometimes you will find the term dimensions of area, you will find the term dimension for them, or you will find the word dimensional formula used to represent these things. So these are basically dimensional formula or dimensions used to represent these derived quantities. Now in most of the textbook, you will find all the dimensional formula are written in terms of dimensions of mass, length and time, MLT. So basically that is to represent everything in a standard format. They are using the dimensions of all mass, length and time. Suppose if this one area is not having dimensions of mass and time, so their powers will be 0. So if we want to introduce the dimensions of mass and time also, we will raise their powers, or their powers will be 0. So dimensions m0, L square and T0. So this representation you will find in most of the textbook, where every derived quantity is expressed in terms of dimensions of these three, that is mass, length and time. So you can go through the dimensions. Now you can write all these also in terms of this. Whenever a dimension is missing, you raise its power to 0. So you can write for these ones also. So kindly go through the dimensions of the derived quantities given in the textbook. We'll be discussing applications of dimensional analysis in the next class. Okay, thank you so much.